Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Man, my doggone music cut off here too quick. Let me fire him back up. Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wednesday night soiree we call the eye test. Thank you guys for tuning in. My friend C Dub is a little under the weather, so I'm running this thing. Gonna be running solo. I done drove this car by myself before. I'm gonna see if I can hold it in the road. I ain't talking about the lines. I'm just gonna keep it on the black part. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We were just talking Monday on our special Monday night show about the fact that there was just so many rumors, so much stuff was coming across the airways, and rumors, innuendos, lies, videotapes, sex, all that type of stuff about what the Falcons were going to do at the quarterback spot. And the sources that were talking about this were not sources that you would really pay attention to if you really wanted to know about what was going on. And the people, they weren't trustworthy. Fast forward to today. Fast forward to today. Oh, the Falcons have already made the deal. The Falcons are going to get Justin Fields from Chicago. Now, a lot of those sources that were talking about that, they said, no, Falcons, no, Falcons, no, they're not bothering with Chicago. Chicago want too much. It's going to cost too much money. They're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to swing the deal. What a difference 48 to 72 hours make. Because as I've been telling you guys, the roller coaster. Yeah, we going to get him. No, he ain't. We might get him. No, he ain't. He's here. No, he's here. No, he's. I mean, it's trying to follow this is, like I said, it's like being on the front of the last car of a roller coaster because you just don't know which way the thing's going to go. So, seeing is how you can't be official until I think the 17th of March. All of these sign up scenarios, all of these things that people are saying that is taking place can't really take place yet because the league year hasn't started yet, if I'm not mistaken. And before I really get started into this, I see John Brooks, Matt Geiger, Millie Mills, Travis Preston. Welcome, you guys. Welcome in. Good to see you. And like I said, the door is open. Got a couple of seats here. You can come on in if you want to come on in and discuss this and other topics that we are going to talk about, because this is kind of a potpourri Wednesday. Oh yeah, I can make that. Yeah, and C Dub says it again. And he put it very eloquently last week, Monday as well as last week. This is lying season, but the lies are flying fast and furious now. I mean, man, so many lies going back and forth about what's going on. It's ridiculous. These people, man, I mean, these people are lying out of both sides of the neck. Come on here, tablet. Yeah, they lying out of both sides of the neck. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you can't keep up with it. You really can't keep up with it because it is coming. It is really coming. Now, what do you want? What do you want? Millie Mills comes and says March 13th is the new year. Okay. Guess that's the day we announce Justin Field bum ass. Hey, because you know it's a it's mixed as to how everybody feels about us acquiring him. Everybody's you know everybody's kind of mixed because, ladies and gentlemen, we were spoiled. Let's just be absolutely 100% honest with ourselves. We were spoiled from 2008 all the way to 2017, 18, because we didn't have to worry about bad quarterback play. Now, I had my issues with Matt Ryan. There were things that he was doing, and I've enumerated those all through those years. But it wasn't a situation where I had to worry about somebody launching a grenade on the side. Didn't have to worry about that. Didn't have to worry about a man with the weapons that he had not executing to some degree of expertise. You know? So once we left that, once Matt Ryan started to deteriorate, once it was being shown that we needed to move on from him, you started to work. And you had a faction of Falcons fans that were talking about, well, y'all gonna miss him when he gone. Well, yeah, good grief. You don't think the Cowboys missed Troy Aikman when he left? You don't think Pittsburgh missed Roethlisberger when he left? You don't think the New York Giants missed Phil Simms when he left? How about the 49ers with Joe Montana, Steve Young? You don't think they missed them when they left? Of course you're going to miss those quarterbacks, because picking a quarterback is not an exact science. Just because you draft in the first round, second round, third round, whatever, that does not guarantee quarterback picking success. And the job of a team is to win every time they go out there on the gridiron. Every time they get on the stove, they got to jump. I see John Brooks saying, John, is being said that the Bears want to move Justin ahead of the NFL draft. Okay. Well, we will find out on the 13th of March as to what is going to happen. But it's not going to stop these folks from putting all these things. Oh, well, the Falcons got cold feet because Justin Fields, they found out that he doesn't like sugar on his cornflakes. Justin Fields wants to come to the Falcons, but so does Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson says that he will buy tickets and everything for everybody in Arthur Blank's family to go to Disney World. And that might put him ahead of Fields. Like C-Dub said, it's lion season. Millie Mill said, C-Dub, facts, bro. I can care less. For real. Just get a quarterback other than Ritter. And Ritter, there have been rumors. We talked about this also Monday. There have been rumors that there are people in the Falcons organization that feel that they can make something out of it. They feel that that snake ain't dead yet. I believe that if I can get with him and work with him, I can make him better. Sound like the introduction to the $6 Million Man for those of you who remember that show. We can make him stronger, faster. Now, only thing that I say, like a lot of you guys say, if you're willing to stake your reputation on this, go right ahead. I can't, we can't stop you. We're going to complain. We're going to say, oh, hell no. But are you willing, after what you have seen, not just the quarterback play, but the reaction to the quarterback play out of your fan base? Can you really, I mean, I understand that you want to. I understand that you want to, but can you really stake your brand new reputation on this? Can you stake your reputation on this? Y'all just got the job. You just got the job. Got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new quarterback coach. You got new people. New people in coaching, and really a new hierarchy in the front office that is depending on you to make them look good. Can you risk that? Now, hey, you can risk it. Go ahead, get them dice together, fling them out there. Now, if they come up snake eyes, guess what? The patience of this fan base is already gone. See, they want you guys to win the Super Bowl next year. There's no reason that you can't win the Super Bowl. But yes, there is. See, you got to be very, very careful now in this offseason as to what you are going to do as far as that quarterback spot is concerned. You got to be very careful. And you got to show some improvement. Now, the benchmark right now for this team, unfortunately, is at 7-10. Reason why I said that, hell, that's what you did for 3 years straight. That last coach, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10. And the way we got to 7-10 was the most frustrating ride in the park. You showed flashes of brilliance. You showed some, hey man, we might have something. You showed some stuff. You showed some stuff. But just like the plane just ran out of gas in midair in the middle of a climb and just plummeted 45,000 feet. Engine cut back on. You almost hit the Equitable building downtown, and you went up and then you went right back down, and carried your fan base with it. Now I don't think your fan base wants to take that trip anymore. I don't think they want to take that trip anymore. And C Double, like he said, the last person that worked with Ritter, he lost his job. But this is the problem with that. And everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on just 1 second. I just heard a loud noise outside. I gotta check something out right quick because see, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna check my cameras here. Let's see what's going on. Y'all pardon me for just a second. Oh, that was just too crazy. Okay. Hold on, people. Just 1 second. I just got to check some things here. Hope nothing blew up. No, I don't see anything. All right. Well, I'll continue. And Now now Red's supposed to be celebrating his birthday, but he I knew as soon as I said the name Ritter, it was all over with. It was over with. Saying you couldn't turn Ritter into anything super, even if he was from the planet Krypton. Right in the throat. Got him right in the throat. And and this is something notable too. This is something notable too. Raheem Morris said that if the quarterback play was better, he wouldn't be here. And he's right. He's right. Quarterback play had been, look, if the quarterback play had been 10% better, I would say. No, Arthur Smith would be getting another year and you'd have a better record. Definitely. Definitely. You know, that hey, what reason would there be to hire Raheem Morris if the quarterback play had been a little bit better? So guess what? Guess what? Since that's the common denominator or the reason why and the reason why not, guess what's going to be the main focus? What's got to be the main focus? Because even though your defense didn't, finish number one, your defense was serviceable enough, good enough to help you win games, to keep you in games. We got blown out only one time this year. Just like it was last year. We got only blown out one time last year. With all of the problems that Dean Pease had with that $1.50 per person Happy Meal defense that we had, you still didn't score over 20 points on the Falcons. The Falcons were never blown out. So you were in there as far as defense is concerned, and you definitely were in there as far as defense was concerned this year. You had a defense, good defense. We were number 4, number 5 for about 3 to 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, that side of the ball was fine. The persons that you hired for that side of the ball, the people that you brought in for that side of the ball in free agency made that defense better. Okay, but you, Arthur Smith, are an offensive head coach. You're an offensive head coach. So why did you not do better than what you did on your side of the ball? That's the question. That's the thing. That's the thing that made everything all crazy. CW said we are done with free fall Ritter. Oh no. Oh no. And C-Dub, I guess I'm okay. I didn't see anything on the camera, and the camera didn't trip. So I think I'm all right. I'm still kind of concerned about these noises like that, because I would think something would have come. And C-Dub sitting up here jugging that red. And Cool CC. What's going on? How you doing, boss? Millie Mills said, John, it's not hard to get us to start winning. To be honest, damn near any competent quarterback could take us to the playoffs. We have the weapons, just need a trigger man. Absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right. Hey, that Ferrari, that Lamborghini, that Cadillac, that Toyota, even the electric car, you got to put some gas in it. Otherwise, it's just going to look there and be just as shiny, look just as good, and be just as nice. But if you don't put no gas in it and you don't drive it, what is it doing for you every month that you pay that note? Because the car show ain't at your house. You got to drive the thing. You got to run the thing. You got to make it work. Tonyo, what's going on? How you doing, boss? And there's El Jefe, Keely Stinson. How you doing, Keely? And yes. Please, if you find it, within your power, if you like what you're seeing, if you like what it is that's going on, if I'm making a great case, smash it with your fist, stomp it with your foot, run into it with the car. But hit that button that go like that on the side there. So we can grow and be like Smitty. Be like Smitty, be like Uncle Steve, be like everybody else. And Keely Simpson says he didn't do better because the quarterback played just like Raheem intimated. Yeah. What's going on, Wallace? How you doing? And Mill says he showed us a red flag when he basically said he don't care about the quarterback position. His scheme is good enough to overcome that issue. Yeah. See, thing is that as I have brought out, Steve talked about it Monday. The quarterback position is the most important position in sports in the world. In any sport, the quarterback, because the quarterback, you can draw a direct link from the quarterback back to the owner. Quarterback, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, either one of those can be interchangeable, general manager, head coach, owner. Because that quarterback, when he's out there on the field, he is in charge of the team. He's in charge of the team. And it does not escape my notice, and it shouldn't escape your memory, that at the beginning of the year, everybody was walking around here with those big caps and C's on their uniform, with the exception of one person, your quarterback. And there were those that said, why he don't get a C? Why Ritter didn't get a C? Did we see why? And C Double says, got to have someone that can drive that ride. Yeah, you're right. And Antonio, how you doing, boss? And everybody's greeting everybody in the chat. And, I like that because, I'll see, hey, that's what you guys, this is a place to come together and talk about this stuff, and consider this stuff and, run this thing around and see how things go, And Wallace Smith is saying that the quarterback position is the toughest position in sports. And it is, because there are a lot of decisions that you have to make prior to the snap and in the 2.5 seconds that you have after the snap. You got to make a whole bunch of decisions. You got to make a whole bunch of decisions real quick, just to see what's going on, just to see what's happening. And Keely says, I believe Arthur Smith's arrogance led him to believe he could be successful without great quarterback talent. He saw Purdy's success and felt he could duplicate it. Okay. And really, ladies and gentlemen, you're absolutely right. Keely's absolutely right. Because the thing is that when you hire a head coach, you hire that head coach with the same prerequisites that you require from somebody else that you see. Because see, the thing is that, okay, when your owner, general manager, or however the hierarchy goes, when they decide to hire a head coach, especially like last year, And welcome to the gentleman on that side right there, Larry from the Dixon Way.
Appreciate
Good
you,
to see
brother.
you.
What's
And
going on?
oh man, nothing much. I'm just pontificating right
All
now,
right.
And thing is that okay, when you go out and hire a head coach,
Yes,
you're
sir.
supposed to be going and hiring the best candidate for the job.
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to do. All right. Now, you're supposed to have as much faith in your head coach as that other franchise and all 31 other franchises have in their head coach
Yes.
to be able to develop, to be able to pick talent, to be able to go down to that farmer's market and get that watermelon after they thumping, boop, 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 know
Yes.
what to listen for, know what to
Hmm.
pick, know what to bring back. And then if you want to make a salad, if you want to make a chocolate cake, if you want to cook ribs, that you cook the best plate of whatever it is that you want to cook.
A chocolate cake
That's
with watermelon?
huh?
A chocolate cake with watermelon? I
Oh
think
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
we
no,
were
no,
doing
no.
before.
Maybe I went too fast. I think I went too fast.
Okay.
I said, pick the watermelon,
Okay.
bake the
Okay.
chocolate cake, cook
Okay.
the ribs.
All right. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But see, the thing is that you got to be able to know the ingredients that you need, know the quality of the ingredients that you
Yes.
get, be able to mix whatever it is that you need to mix in order to make it work. That's the confidence that I had in Arthur Smith based on the fact that I'm trusting my people to have gone and picked the best candidate for the job. Now, as the years went along, the roller coaster of faith went into the Chattahoochee River. It's just like the scream machine was right in the darn river. And I wasn't dressed for that type of action.
All right.
I didn't get on the water ride, but y'all put me on the water ride. Y'all put me on the water ride, and you put the rest of your Falcons fans on the water ride. So this is why right now, this time is so crucial, and everybody's hanging on every word that anybody is saying about anything going on with this team. I
Yeah.
mean, and they just going eight. They going eight.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It seems like the Atlanta Falcons had the epicenter of the NFL talk right now, national media. You got clips of videos of Justin Fields. You can't really coherently hear what he say, but it kind of sounds like he's saying, "I'm ready to go home." I don't know if you've seen that clip.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
sure
saw it.
yeah, I saw it last night. I put it up on the page, but on Twitter they took it down. So, but that was Justin Field agent. Now, mind you, I guess they didn't want, probably tell him, and then maybe something's like, all right, now don't be telling our business, you know. And it was like, hold up, all right. But some way, somehow, national media got it out that hey, Falcons in heavy talks about, trade for Justin Fields. My thing is, are they just doing Justin Fields, or are they trying to get the number one pick? Or they, because all they saying is they in negotiation with the Bears. So people are
Mm-hmm.
assuming that they're gonna go get Justin Fields, but they could be trying to buy and trying to find out what would it take to get the number one pick. And in my opinion, if they did that, this would be on the same level of going to get Mike Vick. Like that's how much pressure, whatever quarterback we went to get, that's what pressure and the expectations would come for this quarterback who we're gonna get. If it's gonna be Caleb, gonna get James Daniels or Drake May, whichever one we pick. If we went up and spent the assets and spent first and second rounds of this year, next year, and possibly a third or fourth next year also to get that, or sweeten the pot, make it so they couldn't refuse the offer, basically a Herschel Walker offer, you know. Uh, because in my opinion, I feel like that Terry has to do. one or two things. He need to get his cash cow, aka the guy who's gonna sell all the jerseys, who's gonna get people to buy season tickets, aka PSLs, keep people there who was talking about reneging on their PSLs and re-upping their season tickets and their PSL. Like so, he either got to get a cash cow, so even if we don't win, he can feel butts in that arena, or he got to win. Those are the two things for Terry. Because right now they don't have a face. They drafted Bijan to be the face of the franchise. He's just not it. He didn't produce enough to be the franchise. Even though they put him out during Super Bowl weekend doing all the interviews, he was a main Falcon doing a whole bunch of interview junkets in the press, press row. So, but the skill don't match the charisma that he has. Yeah, he got the charisma, he got his own mustard, he got the smile, personable kid, but the game just didn't match. And yes, that could be Arthur Smith's fault, but again, they're still looking for the face of the franchise. So Justin Fields will be that because he's from Atlanta. People will be excited. There'll be a whole bunch of one jerseys. But again, Terry either got to win this division or get Arthur Blank the cash cow. One or the other. Hopefully it'll be both. But yeah.
We like to welcome in Mr. Wallace Smith. How
Hey,
you doing, sir?
fine. How are y'all tonight?
What's going on, fam? How you doing?
I'm good.
I like the old folks say, I bees. But now, I want to ask both of you guys a question. Unless Wallace, you got anything you want to say? Coming on in?
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna force your hand. I'm gonna ask you a question.
What's up,
Okay.
Kenny?
I'm
Okay.
gonna ask y'all a question. Didn't you get the feeling that what Larry was saying as far as making Bijan Robinson the face of the franchise forced? Did y'all get the impression that they were trying to force him on everybody?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you gave
Yeah.
him number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Touche, young man. Touche.
Yeah, you gave him number 7. Of course, you forced it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Touche.
Yeah,
Touche.
everybody saw that was a promotional thing, man. Anybody
Yeah,
thought
that
that we drafted him just because he was the best talent in the draft? I got a bridge to sell you. It's banana color, and what's that? 12th Street or 10th Street bridge? Yeah, right there. Yeah, I got it right there at Atlantic Station. I can sell you that. Come on,
Oh,
man.
that old yellow, that old
Yeah,
yellow, big yellow thing going across the expressway. Man,
yeah, where the old steel mill used to be. So
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Like that move wasn't about the best talent in draft, best player available. That was best player to promote this team. That's what that. That's in my opinion. I'm sorry. People may disagree with me. That's fine. We all got opinions.
But it could have been both.
Could have been both.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a running back already on here that gained 1,100 yards, it don't make any sense unless. And then when you pull the stunt by getting him number 7, that kind of told it.
Right.
Just my opinion. That kind of told it.
And Diva CC Sexy Red Peach, you see what she
What's up,
said,
Diva?
and how you doing, Diva? And she said Bijan was only in press row to support Marriott, not really the Falcons. Had he not donated to those shoes, I don't even think he would have been at the Super Bowl. Larry,
wow.
I agree. Bijan ain't the face.
No, he's not the
And
face.
because and to your point, he really didn't do anything spectacular this year. There were a couple of runs that he made that I thought that the Falcons just overblew when they were reposting the run and had the camera from on top looking down on him running and all that type of stuff. I said, "Oh y'all trying out y'all new camera? Y'all got y'all new camera. Y'all trying it out." And you know, it was a good run. Couple of runs were real good runs. However, see, I guess I may be at my, advanced years a little jaded about over promoting. You know, I just see stuff and it bothers me more than other people because man, come on, yeah, good run, but look, man, he didn't do the Barry Sanders. All right,
Yeah,
he
no.
didn't do the Barry Sanders against the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game. You know, and it definitely wasn't Walter Payton. So okay, just curb your enthusiasm, please, and just keep it in the realm of reality. He may have a more spectacular run or some more spectacular runs to come, but again, to your point, Larry, you already had a 1,000-yard rusher here. Okay, how can you fire this man from his job when he pounded his way to where he was?
Yeah, I mean, broke William Andrews' record. I mean, that's a significant record for a rookie record with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, mind you, William Andrews only did it in 14 games, and then
Mm-hmm.
17 games with that. But still, the record is the record. What up, Keely?
Man, I ain't seen you in like 10 years, man.
10 years. Oh, man.
I'm
Same.
just happy to see your face again.
Okay, well, you can come on over to the Dixie Way, check out one of my live streams. You'll see me all the time, bro.
I got you. I got you.
But nah, I appreciate you, man. What's going on with you?
Man, just waiting for this soap opera to get resolved as far as like who's gonna be the signal caller. That's it.
So let me ask the panel. What say you about getting Justin Fields? If we get, it's a two-parter. And if we get Justin Fields, who do you want at number 8? All right. So the host, obviously, you need to answer first.
Huh? Okay. And yes, welcome in El Jefe.
How you doing, kind sir?
Doing fine, doing fine. See, I'm rolling solo. C Dub down a little bit, and Red celebrating his birthday, and still disturbing the peace. So, but that's Red, and wouldn't take him any other way. But to answer your question, Larry, see, I'm at wait and see as far as Fields is concerned. Now, one thing that I am glad that we have an expert in the field that's going to coach it. Now, this will be his first.
An excellent coordinator, and we got a quarterback coach in Yates. So yeah, we got the people to actually coach up people. Unlike previous regime. Yeah, I agree.
Versus what we had the past 3 years. Okay. They're not ready for primetime players. All right. Now, that encourages me. Now, at number 8, I gotta have a thick ankle.
Right.
I gotta have me a thick ankle. That is what I think that we need. That's what I think that we need above everything else is a thick ankle in that nose tackle spot to help Grady, spell Grady, and then in the later rounds, go find another one. If you bring in 365 from the starting, I need 365 backing him up.
You're talking about a man out of Texas.
That was one of the ones that I saw. I got to have that kind of pressure on every down. On every down. Now they're saying that they're going to a 3-4.
Well, we're already in a 3-4.
Yeah. Well, what was it? A hybrid or was it a 3-4 with a linebacker?
It was a hybrid 3-4. We played. Yeah. We had a lot of nickel packages also that we played out of. But I mean, our base was 3-4.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm hearing radio
or TV.
I'm hearing radio or TV.
Not me.
Hey Wallace, is that you?
Let me see. Let me see.
Yeah, somebody had a TV on. They might.
What about now?
Mute your line real quick, Wallace.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Wallace, that is you. Whatever that is playing is, it's coming all in.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's what I think, Keelan.
As far as my preference would be Caleb, Jaden, or May. However, I think the likeliest option would be Fields because I don't envision a scenario in which any of those teams trade out.
Yeah.
So I'm not. eh, I mean, I prefer them, but the cost to get up there, even if one of those teams did, trade out, would be significant. Whereas with Fields, I guess on the bright side, I mean, I would assume you still get to retain your first round pick. I'm not
Yeah.
assuming we're going to throw a
Yeah.
first
No
round
way
pick
we're
at.
gonna give it
Yeah,
8. Yeah, fire Terry. If he give away the 8 pick, Justin Fields fire.
yeah. So I'm not in the camp of believing that Fields is a blessing. I think the challenges aren't physical. The challenges are more so between the ears, and that can be developed with coaching. I don't have to worry about can he get the ball to a receiver,
Yeah.
or can he escape the pocket. Those aren't my concerns with Fields. Yes, the physical talents. My only concern is how he sees the game, which hopefully can be corrected with some good coaching. So I'm not so down on the proposition of getting Fields. The only thing that kind of make me leery is, the payday is around the corner. So you gotta have to hit it quick as far as figuring out if he's the long-term plan.
But I mean, it's really 2 years of control. And then the last year, the fifth, it goes to like 22, 23. So that's still super cheap. You really don't have to pay. Now, you don't want to get into a situation you got to franchise them. But again, technically, you still got 2 years of control of a very cheap quarterback that you can go out and if it only costs you a second and a possible fourth, and that's what Mel Kiper said today in his like mock draft. It's gonna cost he's thinking a second and a fourth to get it done.
And
If that happens, then I mean that's not really that much to give.
here's the thing. The other thing about that too, you're correct. I mean, would getting Caleb or somebody else cheaper? Yeah, because
Yeah,
with Bryce, number one pick, I think he went for 10, maybe his average per year for Bryce. I don't know. I think it was somewhere
yeah,
around there
something
at
like
the
that.
number
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah,
So the other thing I thought about is that you I don't think the field situation is really as bad as like all right, you would keep going that direction, you keep more of your picks,
yes,
presumably, right?
yeah,
So you're not trading away future drafts.
no,
And then in terms of development, Jaden is only what a year or so younger.
yes, I think so.
Because yeah, he sat out when he transferred from Arizona State and then
Hmm.
he was a super senior here at LSU. He's only a
Hmm.
year younger.
Yeah, so
So in terms of development, I mean, it's not like he's that far down towards 30 than the other guys.
okay.
Um,
All right, so what's your pick at 8 if we get Justin?
And before you guys answer that,
Yeah.
I'd like to welcome this young man right here, Mr. Travis Preston, into the house. How you
What up,
doing,
Travis?
boss?
How you doing? Appreciate
Good,
you
good,
coming
good.
back.
How y'all doing, man?
All
Good,
right.
good.
Now, uh, uh, after Larry speaks, Wallace, I'm going to ask him. Well,
Yeah.
the question goes to Wallace, and then Travis, you can chime in on this. But I want to make sure you got introduced proper when you stepped in the house. So, y'all go ahead.
So what's the 8 pick you gonna get? Are you going to try to put more weapons around Justin
no,
Fields? Or are you gonna go the defensive route?
I'm going defensive route because From my understanding, what I've been hearing a lot is that a lot of analysts believe that the receivers is a deep draft for receivers,
Yeah,
where you will be able to get a lot of productive receivers late in the draft. So
yeah.
I just don't. After going pass catcher at the top for like 3 years, because I mean, to me, Bijan's he's a pass catcher when
Yeah,
he's second or third in receptions on the team.
yeah.
He's a pass catcher. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, to go receiver, receiver, receiver. Yeah, I, I need a defensive pick up at the top.
Okay.
All right, Wallace, what you got anything on that?
What's going on, Wallace?
What's going on, Larry? It all depends on what we do in the free agency. If we load up on defense again, I probably wouldn't pick a D tackle with the 8 pick,
Okay.
but people probably don't want to see it. If we don't get a receiver in that free agency and we stay with that 8 pick, there's a possibility we go receiver again because we don't need somebody on the other side of London.
I'm hearing a lot of that. Like I saw PFF also said that. They said we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
pick up Justin Fields, and they said no to Dallas Turner. They said no to Verse. They said we're gonna pick up either Neighbors or Aduza. And I was like, they're talking about, oh, you're gonna have a super dynamic offense. Or
What?
they said we might try to trade up the 4 and get Marvin Harrison and do what the Bears wanted to do. So that's another option that I heard is out there. Like, so that could be an option also. I think that's too much to go up and jump. If you get Justin Fields, you might as well stay there and either get you a defensive player. I mean, I say get a defense person, defender, pass rusher. I want Dallas. So yeah, what about getting Justin Fields, Wallace? What say you about getting Justin Fields?
He's not my first choice, but
Okay.
if that's the route they went, I'll roll with it because I'm with the logo first. If that's his decision, they decide to go that direction.
All right.
Diva, I see what she said. She said, "Do any of you find it interesting that Caleb doesn't have an agent going into the combine and previously leaked that he don't want to play Chicago? I feel GM Pools is shopping the #1 pick." That's a good question, but what I think is it's not really as concerning when you're coming out of the draft. Now, when you once you're in the league, I think it's problematic. But he's going to be slotted. If you're the #1, all your draft, your money is slotted.
Yeah,
So it's not that concerning. But what you can say um, is he doing due diligence to put the right people around you? These teams analyze this. They go back and talk to to your elementary school teacher, you know, your Pop Warner coach. They try to, dissect and everything. Like they're gonna pump you up before the draft, and then the combine and leading up, they are paid to tear you down. So they're gonna find out what type of guy you are, if you're about standing on business, if you're a party dude, or something like that. So I'm not gonna say it's good or bad, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's showing that you possibly want to do things your way. There could be foul cabinet in there. Okay, we may have a problem 4 or 5 years from now, like Lamar Jackson. We got to think about that. But other than that, money wise, it's slotted. I wouldn't worry about it. If you think if he's Patrick Mahomes, who cares? I mean, that's how I go at it. But we got someone who didn't say anything, so sorry about that.
Yeah, Travis. What you
Travis.
think, Travis? Take as much time as you need, boss. So
Okay.
I see you taking off coats and stuff. So I'm
Trying to get comfortable, my brother.
yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir.
if we get Justin, which I'm okay with getting Justin, cause like Larry said, he gonna sell tickets. I mean, it's gonna be a #1 every other seat in the bins.
Yeah.
But and I think he will be coming into a good situation with the staff that Raheem has built.
with all the quarterback knowledge that these guys have, whoever we get as quarterback is going to help that, whether we draft or get Justin. If we do get Justin, I want me personally, I want either Terrion Arnold or Dallas Turner. Um, because looking at Arnold, we, I don't know if they're 100% in on AJ. I don't know if they're 100% in on him. But with Dallas, I mean Dallas, from what I've seen, if he can come and have an impact like Will Anderson just had,
Yeah.
hey, I'm cool with that. So I'm not totally against the Justin trade. It's just a matter of what are we gonna give up? What can Terry convince Ryan Poles to take? And like, okay, this is what I'm gonna give you, take it or leave it. And I think once he does that, if Ryan Poles jumps at it, cool. If not, unless an act of God happens and strikes at the draft and Marvin Harrison drops down to 8, I want defense.
Defense. Okay. All right. There we go.
We got.
So
I think we got enough offense to win because you can still go get a receiver in free agency. You can. You don't have to be a first round receiver to make an impact, i.e., Antonio Brown and all these other guys that have come through. Puka Nakua last year. So it's not a pressing. I don't think it's the most pressing need in the first round receiver. Like I said, unless Marvin drops to number 8, then I'm running that card up there with his name on it. Other than that, I'm looking at either Arnold or Dallas Turner from Alabama.
yeah, I don't think Marvin Harrison's gonna pass the Cardinals. Since they're staying with Kyler Murray, they definitely want to get him his number one receiver. They saw that he can be a Pro Bowl type player, quarterback, if he has a dominant wide receiver, and they only had one. So that's
Right.
what they're trying to replicate with Kyler Murray. They're going all in on him, so they could definitely got to get him someone to deliver the ball to. So I definitely don't think he's going to pass him. Uh, with that, okay, say that we don't go towards Justin some kind of way, negotiations break down over this weekend, and we get into free agency. Are we looking at people? Because right now, I know that Caleb and Jaden Daniels are not scheduled to do any physical activities at the combine, which I figured anyway. When you're high profile like that, you normally just do your pro days and then personal workouts with only like the top 3 teams, you know. So when looking at that, if you know we aren't getting Justin Fields, is there another or is there another quarterback in free agency that you're willing to try to pick up to still go to route or defense or pick up a wide receiver? Because I know it's a lot of people talking about Kirk Cousins. I know it's people talking about possibly getting Baker Mayfield since he, shown. But again, he'll be going into another system and another year. You know what I'm saying? Learning another new coordinator. I really think Tampa is going to keep him. Would you pick up one of these also rans? I mean, like, is there anyone that you would just eye mark and say, okay, well, we don't get Justin Fields. I really don't want to waste a pick. I saw PFF saying we're going to draft on one of their mock drafts. They said we're going to draft Michael Penix at 8. I'm like, that's not going to happen with the injury stuff. Now, Michael Penix did say he was going to, he literally has to come out and throw. You know, he has to go out and throw. They try to convince somebody in the 20s to pick him up, you know what I'm saying, later in the round, in the first round. That's the only way he's really going to get drafted in the first round if he just wowed people. Because that lasting impression of him limping off of Michigan defense kind of brought those injury things back to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? We're playing against Pac-12 defenses and stuff like that, which I think we all can look at now and be like, they were kind of whack. It was wide open out there. Great quarterbacks, but they really weren't paying no defense out there, to be honest. And Michigan punched him in the mouth, and he ain't get hit like that all season. So, uh, is there anyone in the veteran, pool that you could possibly get, and then say, "Oh, you averse to getting a McCarthy or a Bo Nix in the second round?" Me personally, I wouldn't even get a young quarterback this season. If I can't get one of the top three quarterbacks, I'm not getting a young quarterback.
So
Rest don't smell like Ritter to me. I'm gonna be honest.
okay, now that you said that, Larry,
Yeah.
now you've been hearing that your new quarterback coach has
Uh-huh.
said he can work. and Keely, just hold on, Keely. Don't
I'm
react
not.
yet.
Hey,
I know what he said. I know what his mouth
I can
said.
see Keely right now. Oh God. But now TJ Yates said I can work with Ritter.
I know what he
I
said.
think I think there's something with it. Now, and the thing is now, you gotta have a backup. Now, man, I put Woodside out there before I put Ritter out there. Not for the sake of the expertise, not for the sake of the ability or whatever, but just to keep the fuss down. I mean, yeah, just to keep the fuss down. Because you know good and doggone well what's gonna happen if training camp comes and Ritter's out there on that field throwing the ball. You know what's gonna happen out
I'm
there
gonna
at
be
Flower
going.
Branch.
They're gonna kick me out. It's gonna be a very short string. Uh, I'll be honest, guys. I know that the Desmonds really want this to happen, but I cannot see Terry Fontenot risking his career, his GM career, on Desmond Ridder. I can't see it, guys. I cannot see him risking his last year under contract for the Atlanta Falcons, looking for an extension. Now I know it's a cheap way. You know what I'm saying? He's still young. Now if we got a veteran, I could see it happening. But I mean, if we get a veteran and he get hurt, we kind of screwed anyway. That's kind of how you can justify it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just say, okay, it's all about the money. He's on here. If you got, I could see him being here if we had Justin Fields, to be honest, because you're gonna run a run pass option offense, whether we like Ritter or not. If you want to save money, and if you're gonna give the bag to AJ, and if you're gonna go after Daniil Hunter or something like that, then you might be forced to keep Ritter as the number 2 quarterback on this team. You might be forced. I see you squinting and all that, but I'm just saying, John, you might be forced. And God willing, we won't have to, ever see that. Put 2 pillows around Kirk Cousins' knees or ankles, Achilles, whatever you got to do, and knock on wood before every game. Say you like that. I don't know what you got to do, but yeah, there's a possibility that Desmond Ritter can be here for the next season. So I don't want people to just be like, depending on what we do in free agency. We spend a lot of money in free agency. The cheap option is to keep Ritter. That's just the truth.
Keely, you got anything to say about that one? Cause see, hey man, we both. I mean, somebody need to close the garbage can. Put the lid on the garbage can.
I don't even think it's a money thing, because I feel like if they're concerned about money, you just take another quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round in this draft. I think it depends on who. I think it's very plausible, like Larry just said, that Ritter could see the field again in 2024. I think it's very plausible. I don't think that that's their plan though.
No, no.
That they have no intentions of him starting. One when Raheem made that statement, he that lets me know, all right, he's not slow enough to put his job on the line for what was already here in Atlanta when he made
No,
that
no.
statement at the combine.
No.
Now, I think it's just a matter of who they pursue and how it shakes out, because if you go to Justin, I'm pretty sure a vet is going to be slid in at number 2 for that quarterback room. I don't think you have Fields. I don't think your quarterback room is Fields, Ritter, Woodside, or anyone comparable. I think there has to be a veteran in between that, because you have so much youth in there, which then at that point probably slides
I got you.
Ritter to the back. If it's a veteran, then yeah, I'll probably see Ritter at number 2. But I'll put it like this. Would it make my heart feel a lot easier if they just go ahead and find some way for him to end up somewhere else? Yeah, but I understand it makes sense if he's still on this roster. It's just a matter of who they pursue, I guess. I mean, one of the first names I heard mentioned when they brought over our offensive coordinator was Wentz. Because
Wentz.
he sat as a backup quarterback
How
in
much?
LA.
I don't know about Wentz. I don't want Wentz if he's gonna cost like 10, 12 million. I'm just saying.
I agree. I put it like this though. I get it. I mean, we paid Schaub an absurd amount of money to sit there behind Matt for years and
True.
see the field like once or twice
Yeah.
in that whole run.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm at the point, man, as bad as I saw the quarterback play last year, and going into it, keep in mind, I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
But seeing it made me even madder.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't even care about cost savings in the quarterback room.
All right, fair enough.
As long as I don't have to witness that.
Yeah, I got you. That's fair.
That's just I don't want to ever see that again.
And that's why I think that he won't do it. I mean, how Arthur Blank said it. Everybody trying to be nice about it. But really and truthfully, man, Raheem said it best. I wouldn't even be here if we had better quarterback play last year. They literally fired Arthur Smith because in his hubris, he thought he could coach up Ritter or Heineke. That's why he was fired. That's what it came down to, because how nice they were talking about it. Oh, we love him. He's a great guy. He's a great leader of men. He's a community guy, blah, 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 blah. I thought they were talking about they about to give him a raise instead of firing him. So, yeah, I mean, Raheem, no.
But I honestly think that Arthur Smith, he got humbled early. I think he changed his opinion halfway through the process. And I think it became a game of trying to hide Ritter as far as going into the preseason. I feel like when it started, he was cocky, and then he got him in camp, and he saw the reps at the end of those 4 games last year. And I feel like he was like, all right, so let's have the discussion about Lamar. And the only reason I have this opinion and taking it direction is because of the fact that right after the season, everyone was just mummed about starting Ritter. Like he finished the last 4 games.
Yeah.
Every reporter asked, "Is he's your QB1? He's your QB1." No one answered the question.
Yeah, no one.
They ducked it. I feel like if he was still that arrogant about his offense making Ritter shine, at some point somebody got to come out and say, "Yeah, that's my quarterback. We good." But it just seemed like they waited for the whole offseason process. They didn't say anything until the owners' meeting.
Yeah.
Well, now Arthur Smith was a strange bird anyway.
True.
And
I'm speculating. I'm speculating.
yeah. And well, so am I. So am I. You know, he was a strange bird anyway, and you know, you just really didn't know what you were going to get with him. But whatever it was you were going to get from him, it was going to be snarky, it was going to be snappy, and it was going to be offensive.
Even
Okay.
that started to change though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I
Well,
think he got humbled.
well, after he had to bench Ritter,
The first
I
time,
like we talked about this
then cut
in
his
one of our
mustache.
first shows. We talked about this. The man shaved his mustache. He went to see the monks in Tibet. I mean, the man just turned into somebody else. And you know, they would start asking him questions at the press conference. Well, you know, I'm not really sure, and you know,
That's
I
a
really
very
hope
good
you guys.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he changed into somebody else. He changed into somebody else, and you know, just like Diva CC just is saying right here, you know, he thought he was the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, he did.
You
Facts.
know, kind of a introverted, arrogant.
He had Kyle Shanahan arrogance without the resume
Accomplishments, yeah.
and all the
Yeah,
accomplishments.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my question though. I think he got humbled. So if he was retained, do you think he would still be going into this season with Ritter as his QB1, or do you think he would have been humbled enough to say no?
No, he
with
would have
some-
been forced to go get another quarterback.
Okay.
But we wouldn't even be talking about Justin Fields.
Because I'm just shocked that they didn't even work Flacco out. I mean, you didn't even work him out. You didn't
Oh
even
yeah,
try.
before Flacco, nobody really did. They didn't even try. So
Now
I mean,
Cleveland did.
yeah, but that was later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's all, that's
I
pretty much
mean,
desperation.
Yeah, that was just
yeah. Were we not desperate? Well,
yeah.
then again, we weren't, because see, they
No,
thought
they
We
picked
weren't
him
then
up
that
we
before
weren't.
we was desperate.
We weren't.
Yeah,
We weren't,
we
because
was 4-4.
he was
Yeah.
sure, uh, based on his actions, he was sure Riddle was gonna beat him. I
No, he was
coached
sure
him.
that he could coach him up. That's what he was. That's he was
Well, hey, Larry, I coached him without coaching him, and he good.
Yeah, exactly.
He ready.
Yeah, it's the most stupidest, idiotic thing I ever seen.
Yeah,
You say
I
you need to
mean,
coach him up, but don't even give him the reps to get coached.
I,
It's it was
now,
just a cavalcade of idiocy, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
I just think it. I think I want to believe it was just pure arrogance. I just want to believe Arthur Smith. That's the only. I don't believe he's dumb, and the only way I can explain it is just arrogance.
Arrogance, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't believe he's a dumb guy. Like I believe he knows what he's talking about. I just believe he just. That's the only way I can explain all of this is just pure arrogance. That's
Yeah,
it.
it has to be arrogance, man. It has to be.
well, I mean,
Reason.
well, and blind arrogance, just blind, you know. Yeah, I'm right. Well, what about this? That don't matter. I'm right.
I,
You know, you
I,
can't
I, I
talk
don't
to
even think it's blind. I think you remember the genius quotes and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah,
I think
Yeah.
they came. They didn't come from him. People actually like. I
oh,
think
that
Yeah,
came
he
from
was
other
saying
folks.
that.
That
Yeah.
came
yeah,
from other
that's what I'm
people.
saying. And
That came from other people.
he
Yeah.
felt it. Like
Yeah.
he had very limited success in a very short window.
Mhm.
He only had 2 years of success as an OC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people saw the tape, they saw the results. Derrick Henry, 2 best years, his only years as an all-pro running back were those 2 years.
Yeah.
You got AJ as a rookie coming in, he has 1,000-yard, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. The very next year, he's a 1,000-yard receiver again. Touchdown totals look good. Tannehill looks good. He's looking the best he's looked in. Like there was improvement in Tennessee when he stepped in there. And it was just such a short time frame to have that level of arrogance just off 2 seasons is just
And see what Diva said. Now he humbled himself in his introduction interview for OC for the Steelers, and watch Jonnu Smith end up there.
Dum, dum, dum,
And I
dum,
think he's gonna be fine with
dum,
that. I
dum,
mean,
dum. Sit down.
when you remove that
Be
arrogance
humble.
and get just a good OC, like I think he's all right. I think though that
Mm-hmm.
arrogance and those decisions that came with that arrogance is ultimately what probably doomed him here. If he's
Yeah,
humble and just like I'm going to be an OC, he's probably gonna be one of the best OCs.
Mm.
yeah. Cause see, you can bet. Well, I'm gonna tell you,
I hate it for
we,
Tomlin, man. I think that decision gonna get him fired. In my
it,
opinion, I
it,
think
it
that
could,
decision's gonna get him
it,
fired.
I
it,
don't
it
think he's
could.
ever gonna get fired.
He's gonna get fired for that because Arthur Smith gonna be worse than London, the dude that they hated. Watch. Talking about he might be able to do something with old boy up there. Right, again, man, that was the Pickett. That was the worst quarterback class in probably 20 years, bro. Like that
Mm,
quarterback class was horrible. The fact that Mr. Irrelevant was the best quarterback in there, okay, he's great. Under Kyle Shanahan, that's great. But again, so many people and San Francisco passed on him too. So that's
yeah,
blind luck.
many times.
Overall, that class is doo-doo, man. Like it is bad. But guys, I'm about to get out of here. I do not want to get anywhere close to midnight. I'm gonna be off for the entire day. I appreciate you letting me come on, talk a little bit. You guys have a great rest of your day and tomorrow. Deuces. Later.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for
later,
coming in,
Larry.
Larry. And
Later.
ladies and gentlemen, as Larry from the Dixon Way, if you ever want a game stream
Yeah,
commentator with
come on over.
fun, hijinks, and some good commentary, run over there to the Dixon Way. They sure saved my life coming back from Detroit. I was able to listen to them and catch the game all the way down the road.
Yeah.
So,
Appreciate you always
so
coming in, John. All
all
right,
right,
guys, I'm about this thing. Y'all have a
all right,
blessed
man.
later.
All right. Um. Oh, and I need to make this announcement. I've just been made aware that this video is being blocked on my personal John Harris channel because it says that I violated a copyright with the music that I came in on. And I know I didn't because I wrote it. So me and Facebook gonna have to go round and round.
So is it still on in the eye test?
Yeah, it's still on in the eye test, but I guess after the
No,
dispute process goes through,
no.
it's not. I'm blocked there too.
It just removed.
Yeah. See, now at first it wasn't. Now I'm showing that it's live now. Me and you looking down. Yeah, I'm seeing it's live, but oh, you're showing removed.
Yeah, it's saying removed. The content isn't available right now.
Okay. Well, maybe I can see it myself.
Okay.
Maybe I can see it myself. And Diva, yes, I did. I said, look, I own these rights because this is my music. I wrote it myself. So y'all come on. Now, don't let me have to end up suing somebody else. That's what's gonna happen. Hey man, it might have found my doggone ticket out of the ghetto. I sue him back. Yeah, oh, this your no, hell it ain't. Because I can prove when I wrote this. Just pilling around on a music program, I wrote this. But at any rate, I'm gonna continue at least for another 50 something minutes, and we'll see whether this comes out or not. But like I said, this is going to be very, very interesting here in the next few days and weeks because since like Larry said and like you said, Keely, we've been the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Falcons been the talk of the town as far as what we're going to do at quarterback and what it is that we're planning on doing. And because of that, we're drawing a lot of fire. And Raheem was interviewed by Keyshawn Johnson on his All Facts No Breaks podcast, talking about the quarterback position and him being a part of Falcons history as the first black head coach or whatever. And it is a good thing that there are a lot of things roiling around as far as the Falcons are concerned, because see, otherwise we'd be focusing on that one thing and not concentrating on what's really important. That's getting the team together. Because see, after the press conferences where you're dressing in the sharp suits and everybody looking like power brokers and all that type of stuff, now it's time to put the blue jeans on and the overshoes and get your feet muddy and get down there and get to work and make a football team. Time to go to work. Time to go to work. Have you watched any of the combine, Keely?
Not yet. I've seen all the interviews with Terry and Raheem doing the interview tours, being that they're available. Saw, of course, his speech up there to combine, and then I think they also had the one that with the little scrum, and then you have the Falcons media team that's doing their interviews this week as well. I mean, Raheem doing his rounds. He was on Rich Eisen. He was on, like you said, Keyshawn show. He's just doing the rounds, and I've pretty much caught all the interviews.
Did Terry talk to anybody?
Yeah, Terry spoke at the combine.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought he spoke to somebody. Right.
Yeah. So, just doing the little media scrum thing, but I don't know if he's done any like a Rich Eisen show or anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just ready for it to get started because
it's a long ways though, Keely. It ain't even March yet.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like I'm just ready for free agency to start because I think that's gonna be an indication of where we go. I hate to see Jonah leave in the early move, but we'll see. I think
was that Jonu move a salary move? Because and then I have to remember he looked good under the previous. He was one of the few, you could say, bright spots. Can you stretch and say that he was a bright spot in the previous regime? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say he was a bright spot to me. But he's been attached at the hip for Arthur Smith. He was in Tennessee with him, and then he again another bright spot in that Arthur Smith offense in Tennessee. He got rewarded in free agency by New England, and it didn't necessarily, I guess, work out for him in New England. So then we got him, reunited him with Arthur Smith, and it looks like he probably go back and get reunited with Arthur Smith a third time at a third stop. So that offense, it works well for him. I don't want to go down this avenue because it's gonna make me say something negative about Kyle Pitts, but yeah, I wish we could have retained him though. But I just don't. I'm not in the boat of thinking you get better by letting your best talent leave. I don't know if that's necessarily the winning plan. So that one was kind of confusing to me, but best of luck to him.
Yeah, well, could it have been that he wanted to go because Arthur called him and talked to him? If you can get a loose from Atlanta,
yeah,
I'll take you up there.
Yeah,
I'll take you. You
and
come with me.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the exact scenario, June.
I mean, Cause
with them running,
and
with them not running that 12 personnel so heavy next year, so that's probably was one of the reasons too they let him go.
Yeah, true.
And then you got Kyle Pitts on a, just want to see what he can do with Kyle Pitts this year.
So here's my concern with the Pitts thing. So I don't know. We'll see. My concern was coming into the draft. The thing was he was too light to be a traditional tight end. He wasn't big enough. He wasn't strong enough. And and then the very next year, I remember going into his sophomore year, his second year. I remember listening to 92.9. He was on the radio, and verbatim, he's like, "Yeah, the coaching staff asked me to put on muscle, add more weight, and improve my blocking." Like, duh, like that coming into the draft, that was literally the red flag on you was like he's too small to play tight end in the NFL. So over the past couple of seasons, we've brought in Pruitt and other tight ends because he was literally too small to literally play tight end in the NFL. They had him bracketed out in the slot. So to give your best actual tight end to just kind of let him go. And I think the quote from Robinson was that we're gonna see if we can, make Pitts into a more traditional tight end. I mean, how are y'all gonna magically put on this muscle that he wasn't able to put on with the previous regime? I don't know. He just
now Keenan, this is just a question because all right, now Arthur Smith, Fontenot, they looked at this man, and however they came to the conclusion to do it, they went ahead and drafted as he was. Okay. When he got hurt and was recovering, and you threw him back out there, not fully recovered, as we found out later. Okay, because when they put him out, he ready to play. He ready to play. Soon as we see, some hitch in his get along, as old folks say, is he all right? Well, he's still suffering from it. Come on, man. Y'all threw the man out there, and the man not even healed yet. Okay. Now, on top of that, he couldn't get any bigger because, the only big now he could have got bigger. Now let me change that. He could have got bigger, but see that Waffle House weight.
Yeah, I'm sure they got to find some way to get some healthy weight on him, but
the only way you could have got some healthy weight on him was that he would have had to worked out and eating the right thing.
And you're saying because of the injuries,
he
may not have been able to do that.
He might not have been able to do that,
because that's plausible, I guess. I just feel like ultimately this is just further evidence that it was a dumb pick. If you can't put that weight on him to get the results of him playing a traditional tight end, and your actual productive tight end you just let go to Pittsburgh, then this is going to really prove kind of dumb. But I'm pretty sure that, they're the professionals. I'm pretty sure that they've watched the tape and they got a plan. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try to use him in some creative ways. But I'm pretty sure that was what Arthur Smith thought as well, that he had some creative ways in order to utilize him, for them to turn back a year later and say, "Nah, bro, you got to put on some weight." So, I mean, I guess we'll see. I just think it's further evidence that it was a dumb pick, and now we're at the end of his contract in which you got to make a decision on whether you got to pay him or not.
And boy,
It's
Ooh,
it just, to me, it just screams this was a bad pick.
But
yeah.
I don't think it was a bad pick because they already knew he wasn't your traditional tight end. So that was you was gonna have to flank him out, however the case may be, to get mismatched with him.
And that's, to me, is exactly what makes it a bad pick, because he doesn't have a
Hmm.
true position.
Right.
So
Because he's like a tweener, just like you said. He's
yeah, he's a
a
tweener, and
receiver and he's a tight end.
so it's and sometimes people get this idea of, you know, multiple guys who can play multiple positions. But it's a term: jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need people who are masters at their skill set. Like, I don't want my quarterback to be a hybrid quarterback running back, but he's not good at either one. Like, I need someone to be a master at that. Now, is Kyle Pitts talented? Yeah, he's talented. He's athletic. Like, he go to the underwear combine this year, he's gonna still be a top pick in the draft. But and Antonio, where he just put, as far as like him being a huge target, that's what he is. He's not going to get the type of separation that a Calvin Ridley or AB or Ridley. He's not going to get great separation. He doesn't have that type of wiggle to get separation. He has linear speed, but I mean, any NFL DB can cover you if you know you're going in a straight line. Like, he doesn't have the shake to lose his defender, but he's just a big target. And I think 4 is pretty expensive to pay for just a big target. I mean, Sanu was a big target. That's why we brought him in, because of his wingspan. He had a big, what is it, catch radius? That's what they call it. He had a
Yeah.
huge catch radius.
But okay, now let me run a scenario by you. Do you think that Kyle Pitts was one of those tight ends, or that they envisioned him as being one of those tight ends where you fake a block, push the man a little bit, take off going across the line of scrimmage, hiding, and quarterback just finds you coming across because the linebackers have gone out, safeties and corners have gone out, and you throw to him underneath?
The biggest problem, which was the same problem that they predicted on prior to the draft. The problem is that the reason that's effective for Kelsey is because he's in the middle of the field where linebackers are covering him. He's going to leave a linebacker in the smoke. What teams have been doing since he came to Pitt, since he came to the league, is just throwing a DB on him, putting a safety or putting a DB. Like, I saw the first home game against Carolina where they put Stephon Gilmore on him, and you didn't hear from Pitts at all the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Game was over. Like, you didn't hear. They just said, all right, put Stephon Gilmore on him. There's no other receiver on the field, so put Gilmore on him, and he's erased. Like, you couldn't do that with a Gronk. You couldn't put a Stephon Gilmore on a Gronk, because all Brady is going to do is then say, all right, audible to a run play, we're running behind Gronk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
5-yard game, 6-yard game. You can't do that to a traditional tight end.
Right. And see, that's the problem. That's the problem with that, because see, he's not big enough to even sell that he's blocking anybody.
Yeah, that's
Okay. That's
yeah,
the
that's
thing.
the problem.
Because all right, the last tight end that was a quote unquote not a tweener because of size, but a tweener because of usage was Jimmy Graham. And I
Yes,
was just
and you saw
thinking
how
while
that
you,
went.
yeah, and I was just thinking while you were talking about the comparison between him and Kyle Pitts. But at least Jimmy Graham could block somebody.
Yeah,
Okay. Jimmy Graham could block somebody. And you remember the controversy that they had in New Orleans about
how he should get
what type,
paid.
what type of pay he was going to get because
Mhm.
of what he was listed as and how they versus how they were using it.
Yeah.
So we don't have that problem. Well,
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
well, you're right. When I said it, I had to take it back
I promise
because
you, his agent is going to ask for receiver money.
yeah.
But he's not gonna get it because he was drafted as a tight end.
That's what they said about Jimmy Graham.
Now what?
That's John's whole reference about that saga in New Orleans.
But
That's exactly the
but,
same thing Jimmy Graham went through.
but Jimmy
But
Graham had a better
how was that?
production
Y'all
than
remember
what
how
Pitts
was that
did.
resolved? Which way did they
They
pay
paid
Jimmy
him as a
Graham?
receiver.
Yeah. Okay. See,
Because his argument was, but you're lining me up as a receiver. Pitt's first year, I saw the PFF little metric. He lined up with 75% of his snaps outside of the tight end position.
yeah. So,
but to Antonio's point, he's right. Once you get receivers on the outside, then he's going to have the middle of the field. But however, unfortunately, we're going to have to pay Pitts like a 4th overall pick and give him top receiver money, even though he's heavily dependent on having better receivers around him. So, for example, like if Julio and Ridley was still, say this is 2018. You remember 2018 when Hooper was just in the middle of the field, just wide open, just prancing. All because you had Ridley and you had Julio on the outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
And to Antonio's point, like, yeah, he Pitts is going to eat when there's two guys on the outside. The problem is it's going to be paying him when in that scenario because his success is so dependent on other people taking the coverage away from him.
Right, and the thing was that just like I always say, people watch you.
Yeah.
Defensive coaches watch you all the time, and that 1,000 yards that Pitt caught for his very first year did not go unnoticed. It did not go unnoticed. And when you don't have a quarterback worth anything, when your receiver is a rookie, and Pitts is back out there, guess what? They know you relying on him. They know you're going to throw to him.
Yeah.
Job one is to shut him down. Okay, and just take your chances and see what else you have out there in the rest of the field. So,
and another thing about that rookie year, now I would say Arthur Smith did do a good job of scheming Pitts open on some plays, like where they were intentional about getting him open. But Matt also did a really good job in time. Now I'm not the biggest Matt Ryan guy, but he did a good job in terms of placement. Like it's not like so. For example, that play against Miami, right? The Dolphins, where he made that one-handed catch. Pitts didn't have like 5 yards of separation between the guys. The defender was on him. Pitts made a really good catch, and Matt made a really good throw. We're not talking about a lot of plays where like he's just wide open by himself away from any defender 5 yards away. So with that being said, it's also very imperative that you have an accurate quarterback in order for him to be successful. Because it's not like he's gonna get like 5 yards of separation between the nearest defender.
Yeah. From time to time, a quarterback, look, man, I'm gonna have to put it on you. I'm just gonna have to put it on you. You got to fight for it, and it's not a 50-50.
This coming.
But Diva CC by Cordero Patterson.
Yeah.
Well, Well, now, I mean,
I put it like this. I'm disappointed because CP first year, how we use him as a receiver.
mm-hmm.
I was in New Orleans when he made that catch down the sideline when Matt threw it up to win the game at the end of the game.
Right,
Like
right.
CP did his thing as a receiver, and I'm really disappointed that we went away from using him that way. And I don't know why Arthur Smith did that. But he was a really good receiver.
Yeah, and being a receiver, that was less wear and tear on him, wasn't it? Versus run
I would
as a
assume
running
so.
back.
I would
That's
assume
what I
so.
thought. And I mean, he still had the height and a little bit of speed, so that he would catch it. Or and those itty bitty cornerbacks that he was playing against, he had the ups on them all the time. But next thing you know, they ran him one time and saw what he was doing because poor old Mike Davis, that everybody was talking about his thigh muscles, and I have to, after being around old Demond, I have to say pause anytime I say something about, how to, whatever. But at any rate, thing was that, man, that Mike Davis didn't have a line in front of him. Mike Davis didn't have a line in front of him. And I don't care how big your thigh muscles are and your calf muscles are. Look, you can't run through 300 pounds that just walked all over your center, turned your guard over, and stomped on your other guard on the other side.
Yeah,
That's just not going to work.
That was the Jalen Mayfield season, right?
Yeah, well, it was all of Matt Hennessy, Mayfield. Who was that? Who was that son? Caleb McGarry wasn't blocking nobody.
Was Hennessy at center that year?
I think so. I think so. But see, I can't see the name on the back because he was on his back. I don't know who the hell it was. It was just a bunch of dead roaches out there.
Yeah, I think the interior was Mayfield and Hennessy at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. What's going on, Ray? Oh, Chief, what's going on? But yeah, I mean, that's what you had. I mean, that's what you had out there. So, anybody who knows about football, they know if your offensive line bad, your whole offensive team is bad. If you can't pass block, you can't run block, you can't do nothing. And I think Chief said he think it was Hennessy. And man, I'm that year 2021 was just ridiculous. And because we squoze 7 games out of it, that's where everybody was saying, if he gets some pieces around it, we'll be able to win 10 games next year. And then we said it again from 22 to 23. If we get some more pieces, see how he working with this, I believe we can get us about 12 games, go to the playoffs, possibly go to the Super Bowl. You had people saying that. Yeah, I mean, drunk all the Kool-Aid, didn't have no sugar in the Kool-Aid, and drunk the whole damn bowl. About like the Hawks. Yeah, but yeah, I'm still telling people, curb your enthusiasm for fiscal year 2024. Let it come as a surprise. Don't expect it. Don't put that type of weight, because this still is this man's first year. This is his first year. Now, hopefully, the coaching that we have and the people that we have in the places that position coaches, your coordinators, your head coach, that these people are going to be coached up to where they're not making dumb mistakes, not throwing dumb interceptions, not fumbling balls, not jumping off sides all the doggone time. not false starting. Because now, to Arthur Smith's credit, we had some of the longest touchdown scoring drives that I have ever seen a Falcons team have.
Yeah.
75, 80, 78, 72, 60-yard drives steadily marching down the field. I hadn't seen anything like that. And I mean, when it was working and people weren't making mistakes, weren't throwing dumb interceptions, weren't jumping off sides. And see, I don't count holding penalties. Because see, thing is, these people, these officials, man, I don't know what holding is. It's just in the eye of the beholder. Because see, some of the stuff that in the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship, in the NFC Championship, man, it's a wonder that some of those players still had clothes on after every play. Because look, if they had those old tearaway jerseys, them jokes be running around out there naked. Because man, all up under the shoulder pad done twisted it all around, and the man number stretched all across. Come on, man. Is that a hold or what?
Yeah.
Come on now. But the other penalties, the penalties where you have to be either concentrating or know your job, those dumb penalties, we were making too many of those. We were making too many of those. And
I think Arthur Smith, I'm not gonna say the right. I like what he was attempting to do. He just made some real arrogant decisions that threw it off. Because I think that style of play, as far as like you said, the long drives, let's beat the other team up, and then on the other end play good defense. We're gonna shorten this game by taking all the clock, take all the air out the ball. Like, I mean, it's that old 2014 Nick Saban, like 2012 Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, y'all gonna get beat up, y'all gonna be tired. Then y'all gonna look up at the clock and say, "Oh, it's not that much time left." And we gotta. I like the thought part. It's just his arrogance made him think how he was gonna go about it, execute it. It's just.
Mm-hmm. And like you say, the thing about that type of football, you got to bring back some points. Yeah, if you're gonna take that much time off the clock, you got to bring some point back every possession that you have. Because that's why I used to like to post the drive charts every Monday or Tuesday after the game. Because see, I'm looking at your time of possession, the time that you had on the drive that you had. All right, Atlanta, get the ball at the 10. 75 yards total, touchdown. Extra point kicks by whomever. All right, by Younghoe Koo. Then you'll have a 3 and out. Drive time, 45 seconds. Defense, I mean, the Gatorade man come around to the defensive player, and just as soon as he handed him the cup, he got to go back to work. This man thirsty. This man tired. Surface tablet ain't. And look, you may as well have a doggone regular old tablet, because by the time you open the thing up and look at it, it's time for you to go back to work.
Yeah.
You can't strategize. You can't say what's going on or whatever. You're having to discuss that out there on the field. And, now the linebacker may have the headset on, but your position coach is grabbing linebackers, linemen, the cornerbacks and safeties and stuff, them telling them, those groups individually, what they're seeing on the field and bumping it up against what you're seeing on the field. You didn't have time to do that, because your offense had plenty of rest. They had plenty of doggone rest. Ain't no talking about you tired, man. Hell, we've been carrying y'all the whole damn game.
Yeah.
So
and the other flaw with that we saw with that is the turnovers. with that style of play. You can't you can't keep giving the other team the ball if the intention is to play keep away. and that's the other big flaw that what didn't work so much for us last year. But
and see, yeah, and that's why I hope this coaching staff
become
yeah, you see, it came off the bench and throw the interception, man. I mean, all right, the coffin already closed. You putting nails in it. Nobody gonna see the body. We just gonna put this.
I feel like we're gonna look back at that season and laugh and crack jokes just like it. Like it was bad, man.
Oh yeah.
Going through it ain't funny, but it's I think we're gonna all look back at it and just laugh. It wasn't funny last year, but yeah.
No, while you're going through it, and after the games and things, and you sitting up here, I don't believe, just like when Mariota threw that grenade. When you going through that, after actually having seen it, and you look, what the hell? Why they do this at? Oh, it's the Falcons. All right. It's the damn Falcons. It was just ridiculous, man. It was just ridiculous. And like you said, Keith, look, it'll take me about 6 or 7 years more before I start laughing at this. Cause see, man, come on, man. You know what? It was just like the Byron Leftwich, Joey Harrington years prior to getting Matt Ryan.
Those were depressing years.
Yeah, I mean,
but I will say this: the thing about it, it wasn't as long as what we've been going through now.
Yeah, well, it was only 1 year. It was only 1 year, right?
Well, I'm trying to think. So
it was only 1 year because Petrino was here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 2006 was Vic's last 4 year. 2007, going into 2007 was when he got the indictments, I think. And then 2008.
Yeah, because we had just hired Petrino. We just hired Petrino, and also in Petrino's defense, as well as in Arthur Smith's defense, we got bigger, especially on Arthur Smith. We got bigger, and that was one of the things that I liked, and that he brought from Tennessee. We weren't trying to outrun and outspeed everybody and try to beat people with our speed on defense or on offense. We got bigger, and I hope that we continue and maintain that philosophy under Raheem Morris, that we don't sacrifice size for speed, especially in your trenches. I don't need no pickup trucks on my lines of scrimmage. I need tractor trailers. I need dump trucks. I need what's the name of that truck? That big dresser. Anybody know anything about a dresser? That's one of those. It used to be at coal hauling, that great big old dump truck, coal hauling dump truck that they sent out there to the fields when they digging up that coal that carries millions of tons in the bed. That's what I need. Cause look, everybody that we're gonna play in the NFC, if you don't play them during the regular season, when you get into the playoffs, when you get into the Super Bowls, you playing them then. Yeah. And you don't want to come up short in those types of games, being undersized and being run all over. And the AFC learned that in that 15-year run with the NFC, where the NFC was winning all those Super Bowls. The AFC was just getting toe out the frame on the line of scrimmage. And, I don't want us to do that. I don't want us to do that, bring the smoke, bring the pain. They hitting us, hit them back, but see, Antonio said Ritter made us too predictable so much to the point where corners and linebackers were like, I know you're not about to throw it to me.
Man, that Carolina game, man. When Buddy said that, he was like, I know he's not about to make this throw. Brian Burns said, I know he's not about to throw this.
I mean, boy. And there was a theory that I was hearing from various people saying that Ritter was now. This is what they were saying. Now I'm still trying to process it to see whether I can believe it or not. But they were saying that Ritter was confused because of what Arthur Smith was telling him, and the because they were saying that Arthur Smith's play calls were such that in the play, a particular person is supposed to be open, and that's who you focus on to get the ball. But when the play was actually run, that person wasn't open. So Ritter was lost.
Yeah, I think in general, I think he had trouble come off this first read. So I think here's my theory on how that went. I think to Antonio's point, Ritter was making us very predictable. Teams were just selling out like we're gonna force this kid to throw, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that the adjustment that Arthur Smith would try to make, this is just me speculating, is that look, I'm gonna try to dial up the easiest we can, that the best I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when teams were taking away that first read, he was struggling getting to those second and third reads. And I think Arthur Smith did his best with the little smoke and mirrors to do the 360 flips and all this kind of stuff to disguise stuff to try to get that first read open as much as possible. But I think yeah, I think Ritter struggled just getting those through those progressions. Now, some of that stuff ain't coaching. That interception in Carolina, that is outside the pocket. That was a play that was blown up by Derrick Brown. And Derrick Brown exploded our center, but it was on his back, and Ritter left the pocket once he saw Buddy. I think it's Hodge that was coming down. He was coming coming down in motion. Derrick Brown blew up the center because I believe like half the line was hurt that game. So it was a backup center in there. Derrick Brown blew him up. Daryl Hodge almost got blew up on that play. Ritter came running out once Buddy got it pushed into him. And then I think there was a free rusher too coming off the side. So he just decided, instead of just going and continuing to run up the sideline, he decided to say, I'm finna make a play today. I see a guy somewhere and I'm gonna throw the ball. That wasn't in the script. The play was blown up. Like Drake was on the backside open, but I'm assuming that was the original target because he was open.
Mm-hmm.
But there were plays where Drake where Dez just tried to make a play, and it was a bad decision. I saw plays where literally Arthur Smith will run the same play twice, and it would be two different decisions against the Saints at home. That play that won the game, the toss to Bijan, they ran that play previously. Kyle Pitts was wide open, and Ritter just missed him. He just took off running instead. So I think there's just sometimes where it could be confusion, but I just think there's sometimes Dez was just trying to make a play, and it didn't go well. Like that Carolina play, that had nothing to do with coaching. I mean, Derrick Brown blew up the pocket. He left, and for some reason, you could have just kept running or ran out of bounds, but he was like, "No, I'm finna make a throw on the run while I'm leaning out of bounds," and he threw it to nobody that was in a Falcons uniform. Nobody was in a Falcon uniform with remotely close to that pass. So
he saw a ghost.
I don't know what happened.
He saw a ghost. But the crazy part that used to get on my nerves when he go into the, say for instance, it was one. I think it might have been that same game after he had fumbled going into the end zone. No, that was a different game. It was a different game. He in there celebrating, jawing at the fans like, I do this for a living. So you and see, my thing is, okay, I understand celebrating. I understand celebrating, and I understand being, happy, joyous, whatever. You celebrate with your teammates and all that other stuff, like, you've been doing this all the damn time, and this is the way that you operate, and everybody know that you a fumble or a screwed up play just waiting to happen on every darn play. Son, you can't afford to do that. You can't afford to do that. It's matter of fact, as I think about it, that's that Arthur Smith arrogance wearing on you or coming out of you.
They say he confident. I mean, I put it like I feel like I've always been in the camp that Ritter just is not talented enough. But I do think that I will concede this. With a different coach, maybe they would have taken a different approach, and maybe he would have been humble enough to not attempt those kind of throws while scrambling from the pocket and not, I don't know. To your point, you said it appears to be some Arthur Smith arrogance. Maybe he wouldn't have that arrogance if it was a different coach.
I agree with you 100% because, okay, now I'm looking at what DVCC just wrote. Said Ritter not having any competition and being handed QB1 didn't help. Preseason, no QB coach, Arthur Smith, the list goes on. Just doomed like in New England. 1 year left and time to move on for Ritter. But the reason why we're talking about Ritter is that there is a good possibility that the never-ending story has not ended yet. He may be on the field at some time or another. It's agony. It's agony because he may be still here.
He may be.
He may be still here. Regardless of what we do at the quarterback position, Ritter still may be here. And,
here's what adds to it for me. When the whole Lamar Jackson summer thing, when every national analyst was looking at us like we were stupid, and you had all these quotes was like, you mean to tell me you're not going to pursue Lamar for who? For Ritter? But literally, everyone going into this season was like, what are they thinking? And for it like that, and for it to actually end up in the result that it ended up, that's embarrassing. I felt the same way. But with that being said, it just felt like if the national media is like, all right, y'all crazy, and not so many words, and then we take the stance of, well, we're behind our quarterback, we know what we're doing, and then to have this result,
man, we look like go ahead, say what?
No, I was gonna say, I probably about to say what you about. We just look stupid. We look very incompetent at that.
We look like the village idiot.
Yeah.
We look like the fan base looked like the village idiot. The coaching staff, the front office, the owner. It was just embarrassing from top all the way down to the bottom, to the groundskeeper. Why are you even out there picking up paper off of this dirty field? Because your head coach and all of this crazy stuff that was going on and that wasn't going on. I mean, because just like I said, we are not the ones going and picking these people. We are not the ones that are going and scouting these people. We're not the ones that are going and negotiating and signing contracts with these people. but these people represent us. They represent this city. All right. So if I'm in Dallas with a Falcons uniform on, that stupidity that just happened the previous Sunday, guess what? They're going to come to me with it, just like I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now if I go to a sports bar, I'm begging for it. If I go to a sports bar in Dallas, I'm begging for it, wearing a Falcons uniform. Okay. Now I'm going to wear it, and whatever happens just have to happen. But the thing is that why do we have to carry the baggage of that stupidity when you could have done better? You could have done better, had a better result than what you had, you know, and because of the fact that we still may be, you know, on the Ritter train. And Wallace, I know you quiet over there, but look here, Wallace, that dirt gonna get on you too, sir.
Yeah, but
I
on
agree with Smart Rod.
But on the other hand, we already knew we wasn't gonna be able to get Lamar no matter what offer we put on the table. They was gonna match it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
but to Diva's point, but we just provided no other options on it. Like we had a couple years, with 2 or 3 years to get somebody else in here at least to compete with them. I will concede that part. I'm a Arthur Smith defender, but the fact that we didn't give him we had no other options but him. That was the only option. Not saying that it had to be Lamar, but the fact that Ritter was the only option.
And see now Millie Mill said if Raheem want to get the fan support, that M and Effer better not see the field on Sundays unless an injury happens. He can on Friday or Saturday the first 3 weeks of the season. But Millie Mills, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, Millie Mills. I'm about to say something. I'm gonna tell you this, Millie Mills. That man gonna get booed in preseason. Really gonna get booed in preseason. You mark my words. I said it on February 29th, 2024. They gonna boo that man in preseason before he throw his first pass. They see him running out there on the field. Hoo, hoo! He's gonna sound like a damn whole herd of owls.
And that's gonna be a mess because Dez don't deserve that, but at the same time, the fans, we deserve to boo somebody after what we just witnessed.
Well, say, hey, Arthur Smith ain't here. He left. We can't boo him, but we can boo you. You still here.
Like Arthur Smith put Dez in that situation.
Yeah, yes,
he shouldn't have been in that situation.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You know, and see what Smart Ride said. Rooting for Ritter that hard made us look like the dumbest fan base in the NFL.
And here's the thing about it. I agree. I would say I was not rooting for Ritter, me myself. And what made it even worse was the fact that those who were on the side of everyone saying like, "Hey, this guy ain't what y'all think he is," the fans turned on them. Like we actually clashed over this guy. That was the thing that made me feel like we were a poverty franchise. The fact that we're literally having arguments within the fan base about this third round talent. I could see if this was Zach Wilson, somebody that was drafted 2 overall, right? And our fans are going back and forth over this guy. But we're arguing over somebody who I'm sitting here like, man, this dude probably is not going to get more than 20 starts in his Falcons career. And we're arguing about this guy.
Yeah, well,
that to me made me feel like we're a real poverty franchise. Our fan base, we're arguing over this guy.
Like, yeah, because I mean, now Keely, he was the only other game in town besides Mariota. And see, after Mariota lobbed that grenade into that foxhole, put Ritter in. Because see, everybody was screaming for Ritter at that bye week. You remember that? Because we had a late bye week.
I get it, but I feel like no one was screaming. I just don't get why our fan base had such high expectations. Because here's my point. In New England, like your boy Bill was drafting quarterbacks every year, like in the 4th round, 5th round, like Bailey Zappi and all these quarterbacks, right? I just it's just hard for me to believe that there were fans going back and forth over Bailey Zappi on whether or not he was the future of the Pats franchise. And that's why I feel like we are a poverty franchise, because I refuse to believe that there were Pats fans talking about each other, calling everybody out, each other out their name over Bailey Zappi.
Well, okay, all right. I can kind of see why. I can kind of see why they caught lightning in a bottle one time. They caught lightning in a bottle with Tom Brady. Brady rode that horse until they couldn't ride it no more. Got 6 Super Bowls. Thought that they could do it again. Because see, success blinds you to reality. Okay, success blinds you to reality, because see, the thing was, nobody in New England, after Tom Brady got to be Tom Brady, winning Super Bowls, the franchise, they're cutting everybody except Tom Brady. They are replacing pieces except Tom Brady and continuing to win Super Bowls after the luckiest stroke of luck that a franchise has ever had.
That is the greatest stroke of luck. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. That does not happen. What happened with that franchise does not happen. You can't plan that. You can't predict that. You can't say this is the way we're going to do it. Okay. And the crazy part about it, though, Keely, there were people that were doing it. We were one of the franchises that tried it. Yeah. We did. So we were one of the franchises that tried it because we had just got out from our particular situation was the fact that we just got out from under an albatross of a quarterback contract in Matt Ryan. Okay. They sold everybody on the fact that, all right, my system, just like to your point, my system is so good that I can put anybody in there and my system will work. So that's what they did. That's what they did. Hey, I can go get Rudy Poop off the corner. Shoot, he drunk. I can put him right behind this center right here, and we can do something.
Yeah.
And see, the plane crashed and burned and killed every passenger on it. Boom. And drug all of the other people watching right down into the hole where the plane crashed. And that is what happened here.
Yeah, I would just hope that somebody would have stepped in and told Arthur Smith, like, hey, this is a dumb idea you're doing. Like,
who we gonna tell? Cause see, now look, Keely, we talked about this once before. Because you remember when everybody was saying that Arthur Smith needed an offensive coordinator. You remember that talk. Mm-hmm. And my question was, could you work for him? The way that he was when he first came here, could you work for him? Because guess what? Soon as you become offensive coordinator, you scapegoat number one if anything goes wrong. John Harris did it. He was offensive coordinator. Go talk to him. You want me to fire him? I fire him so that I can stay. Shoot, you man, look and look here. Now, don't forget about that. Please, don't nobody forget about this. What Millie Mills just said. Felipe Franks. You remember that? Now he kept putting that man out there. He kept putting that man out there on the field.
Yeah.
Oh boy. See, I'm just, oh boy. This was a wasted 3 years, sir. Keely, Wallace, this was a wasted 3 years.
Yeah, but
looking back on this, man, we were just spinning in mud.
Yeah, but you hit it on the head when you said that we didn't have a quarterbacks coach. That was probably what really hurt Ritter by not having that quarterback coach to
So
coach him
Yeah,
up.
here's my question. What type of difference do you think that quarterback coach would have made? Do you think, say, like, how many touchdowns he had? 10? Do you think he would have been at 20 if he had a quarterback coach?
I don't know. I mean, the mistakes he was making probably would have lessened the mistakes if he'd had a quarterback coach, maybe, but we don't know because he didn't have one.
I think I don't know. I'm back and forth with that. Um, because I think people assume, I don't know. I'll leave it alone. With the quarterback coach thing, like we've seen guys come from the like take Raheem Morris, right? When he was here in Atlanta, he coached on the defensive side of the ball, then he was coaching receivers, then he was coaching DBs. Like we've seen people, like, keep in mind, one of the greatest offensive coaches ever, Walsh, like he started his career on the defensive side of the ball. Same thing with your boy out there, that was the offensive coordinator with Brady all those years. Like he started on the opposite side of the ball.
oh, you
So
talking
it's,
McDaniels, Josh
yeah,
McDaniels?
McDaniel. Yeah. So I get it. I think sometimes coaches just feel like, even though, hey, he might have been a defensive coach, he knows quarterbacks. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I
Now,
I'm back
now,
and forth with it.
now, this is my whole situation with the quarterback coach. If he did have a quarterback coach and he couldn't get it, he couldn't improve, something's wrong, you could never say that he didn't have a quarterback coach trying to coach.
Yeah, you right. It's CYA. You eliminate
Yeah, you get
the
yourself out
CYA.
of you get yourself out of the blame game. You get yourself as a head coach, as a coaching staff, you get yourself out of the blame game. Yes, I tried to coach him.
I'll,
Yes, I put the
I'll
work
say
in.
this. One thing I remember Winston brought up a while back, when because we this guy's been a topic, Ritter's been a topic for some time, and I remember Winston brought this up. Some stuff you should know before you reach the NFL level, like the ability to get through your progressions. You should
Mm-hmm.
know. You should have a grasp on that before reaching the NFL level. And some of the stuff he struggled with, it didn't seem like he had a sound grasp of. Um, and that's not uncommon, because in college you run certain schemes. You got, literally, you see on the sideline where they're holding up 5 different pictures where the coach is basically communicating where you should be going with the ball anyway. So a lot of the kids aren't even making decisions on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait a minute,
I,
Keita. Is it more than one college team up there? They use them great big old, they'll hold a
what I'm saying,
screwdriver
yeah,
in a baseball.
they use it they use them for different reasons, right? They some of it is just a big bluff anyway. Like the call ain't even communicated through them, so it's just a big bluff with some of it. But what I'm saying
Man, I
is
used to
that,
love to see them jokers. Jokers just hold up. I said, "What the
yeah,
hell is that?"
and then you have 3 kids on the sideline, all with headsets, doing the same thing, like doing
Yeah,
sign. And
yeah,
so the other team got to figure out which one is giving the sign. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
it's
Oh man.
so much stuff and scheme. But the point is, some of these kids aren't necessarily pro ready in terms of, because of the system they were in college. And I'm not going to put that on Ritter, because that guy's a 4-year starter. I'm not going to go that far. But I just remember Winston bringing that up. Like, there's some stuff you should have a baseline knowledge of before you even get to the NFL. That way, it's not even on so much the coach's responsibility to develop you. But even if he need that development, then he just shouldn't have been on the field. He should have been a more long-term project if that's the case. Like, don't put him on the field before he's ready. Like, if Ritter gets whatever coaching that was needed, if he gets it in year 3, then that's the year you should have put him out there.
Now, I'm looking at something that Diva just said. He said Heineke was Ritter's quarterback coach, and it showed. Shaking my damn head, Arthur Smith got called out when Matt Ryan called that game, and Arthur Blank heard it. I wasn't. Now, you said Heineke was Ritter's quarterback coach, but Heineke was Heineke in any type of position to be coaching anybody himself?
I mean, he not in a traditional sense. He's not a quarterback coach, but I mean, of course, you want your vets to be able to help coach your young quarterback alone. Like when they had Zach Wilson, they had Flacco on the sideline to help him. As far as like, hey kid, this is what you should have been looking at. This is what you should have seen. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to think, because I think then we had two, didn't we? We had 2 quarterback coaches for Ritter.
No, you had Charles London, and then you had Ragone that was supposed to be the offensive coordinator, but Ragone was always on the sideline, and I never saw Charles London.
Now that's who I'm thinking about. Dave Ragone, he was a quarterback coach previously in
Chicago.
Right? Yeah.
But he was supposed to be offensive coordinator. Now that's where the convolution starts. Okay.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking. So I think at some point, because you was on Charles London head so bad, I think at some point Arthur Smith heard you, and Dave Ragone took on some of those responsibilities as far as quarterback.
This past year.
Yeah.
This past year.
There we go.
Okay. And the thing was that, okay. And see, Diva said, Heineke even said it in a press conference. See, I missed that. That.
I chalk it up as, because that's what the vets do anyway. That's kind of like the whole point of having a vet in the locker room. The quarterback room, to be another coach. So I'm assuming that's kind of where they're going with it, because Dave Ragone was the official guy, I guess at some point.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Because supposedly, and then this was the thing. They said that he would take over quarterback coaching duties. They had it in the media guide that he was a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, offensive assistant, whatever. And then later on during the year, they dropped the quarterback coach moniker from his title. So it was just a convoluted mess. Basically, it was just a convoluted mess. Okay. Why did you have a Charles London who had no quarterbacking experience there coaching anybody anyway? All right. And to Ray Ellison's question, how do y'all feel Charles London did with Will Levis? Well, I don't know how he did with Will Levis, but he got the coach fired. He sure got the coach fired. He was
offensive coordinator when he went to the Titans.
Yeah, he was quarterback coach too.
Right.
He was quarterback coach. And
guess what? He got another quarterback. Got another quarterback coach job with Seattle.
Oh, geez. Man, this.
Woo! Yeah, I'm trying to think. Has he had a success story though? Like, who has Charles London?
No. He took the 2 years that he stole money here, parlayed that into a promotion in Tennessee, got that coach fired. That coach got fired. Now he's gone to Seattle.
I'll say this. Okay. Levis did pretty good Like he had his highs and his lows, but he was definitely looking like a starting quarterback at some point. But that's not enough. You could, yeah, that ain't enough for him to be getting another job.
Cause see, this is the thing, Keely. Some quarterbacks come just like you quoted what Winston was saying. Some quarterbacks come with I already got it.
Yeah.
I already got this. And regardless of what bad coaching, good coaching, whatever it is that's done on the team, you're able to still remember the things that you know and halfway stay out of trouble. But when you draft a man in the third round, in my opinion, automatically screams project. Okay. I need to be taught. I need to be nurtured. I need to be held by my hand, shown what it is that I need to do. Okay. That's what third round screams to me. And that's what I thought, and us fools thought was going to happen when the man came here, when you drafted him here, when you were pumping him up. Oh, he did this in Cincinnati. Oh, he's this. He's got a family. He's one of those people that, he's already mature beyond his years because he has a family, he has kids, he's this, that, and the other. And the thing is that all of that might be true, but somebody rated you and put you in the third round for a reason, sir. You're in the third round for a reason. You need seasoning. You need butter. You need some margarine on top of it. You need to be fried at 350 degrees in order for you to, to make it, but you didn't do it. You sit up here and threw a raw steak out there in front of a defense. And that's all. And them Joe just ate you alive.
I'm starting to come to your side on this one. I've been disagreeing with you on the quarterback coach issue, but I'm starting to see your side of it. I still don't think that Ridder was going to ever, like I've said many times, Jesus could have been his development coach. I don't think he was going to ever achieve. There's nothing he did at Cincinnati that made me think he was going to be a starting quarterback in this league. People talk about the numbers. I mean, Aaron Murray rewrote the SEC record book, and at no point did I think he was going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to see your point now. I guess.
My only point was get coaching staff, get yourself out of the blame game by at least trying to coach the person with competent people. That's basically what my point was. Okay. Yeah, get yourselves out of the blame game. It's just like me with a quarterback and a wide receiver. Don't stand back there patting the doggone ball. Throw it, get the pressure off of you when they start blaming folk for the team losing. Put it on that wide receiver by throwing him the ball. Okay, he drop it, that's his fault. Put it on him. Okay, that was my only point as far as that was concerned. Because just like I'm looking here what Millie Mill says, learning from former bum ass quarterbacks. What has Rigon ever done in the league to be teaching quarterbacks by himself? Okay, so that's my situation.
I'm sitting here looking at his resume now. I'm trying to figure out so he was with the Tennessee Titans in 2013. What quarterback was that? 2013. Was that Mariota? Probably. I don't know.
Hold on.
And he was with the Bears from 2016 to 2019. I'm trying to think what young quarterback that might have been. Was it Trubisky, I'm assuming? And that wasn't good.
He had Trubisky with the Bears.
Yeah. I'm assuming 2013 might have been Mariota. I'll put it like this. So, like I said, I see that point, whereas I don't know who they were going to get that was going to make Ridder good, but at least get someone with a success record, I guess. But I don't know who was available that's successful that would then say, yes, I'm coming to Atlanta to coach this third round pick. Because I'm assuming if you're some highly touted quarterback coach, I mean, you probably already have a job, but if you are available, you probably want to go to someone that's going to give you a nice piece on your resume. So, for example, if my choice is going to Atlanta to be a quarterback coach of a young Desmond Ridder, or going to Jacksonville to help develop Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I'm probably going to go to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. And see, hey, Keely, what would have been the problem for a situation like this? For a situation like this, what would have been the problem to get a college coach? At least a college coach who had coached quarterbacks. If you couldn't find anybody
Well,
out
no,
there,
he's one that's coached quarterbacks. He just has no
you talking about
success.
Ragon?
Yeah, he just has no success behind it.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback coach. He's been coaching quarterbacks since 2010. It's just he has no success behind it.
Yeah,
Cause
he
see,
got
hey, Keely, why not Matt Shaw? You got Matt Shaw on the roster as an analyst. Matt Shaw is on the roster as a offensive analyst. Now,
He's never
Matt
coached. He's never been a
Shaw,
quarterback coach.
see, I mean, come on. I'd have gave Matt Shaw a shot. I'd have gave Matt Shaw a shot versus a man who has never played the position. And Matt Shaw knows this West Coast offense like the back of his hand, because him and Kyle Shanahan were down in Houston together.
Yeah.
That's why they paid all that money for Matt Shaw to be that backup. But thing is, I mean anything other than what you did. Anything other than what you did. I'm just boy. And and then on top of that, though, bringing a Deshaun Watson here, bringing a Lamar Jackson here, under these fools, career suicide.
Why you getting
career suicide? I'm just, oh boy. But Keely, I'm gonna get on the bed. I got to go to DC this weekend.
Safe travels.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Got to go down here and cuss some folk out. Is that oh, that's Wallace. Yeah, and hey, Wallace, I'm getting ready to shut it down. I got to get packed or whatever, because I got to go to DC this weekend. And I really appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight. And hopefully, well, matter of fact, I won't have a show next week. We will not have a show next week because I'm going to be on the road. I might peep in and say something, whatever, and then I may open it up, depending upon what Red and Keely, if you want to come on, or whoever wants to come on, and you all want to fuss about it, I just open the stream up so you guys can go on and talk and cuss and do whatever it is y'all want to do next week. But I really appreciate everybody coming in, and like I said before, bang that like button for us. And Ray Ellison, oh, what's going on in DC? I got to cuss. I'm gonna try to stay away from Capitol Hill because they got enough problems up there with all that mess going on. I have, you know what? I may have to go up there because there are a couple of senators and congressmen I got to go see.
Right, John is going to get his Trump sneakers. He has to go up to DC to get his Trump sneakers, right?
You'll put them on my cold, dead feet in a casket. That's gonna be the only way I'm gonna be wearing them things. But thank you guys, the people that are saying it was a good show. I'm certainly hoping that it is. And Ray, Leesburg, Virginia. Okay, you got a house in Leesburg. Okay, and yeah, and I do want to make a stop up there, but Keely, where you gonna be? Where, I want to make sure that we advertise everybody that's been on. What are you doing this next week?
I'm about to get on the road this weekend, head to Alabama, do some gun stuff. So I'm gonna be doing some more shooting, and if anyone interested in that kind of stuff, I'll probably post it on my page.
All right. Hey, Wallace,
Yes.
what you doing, man?
Nothing. I'm just a retired veteran, just laying low, laid back.
Thank you for your service, sir.
And you welcome.
Well, boss
But
man, glad to have you
yeah.
come in.
But thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime. Anytime. And to all of those in the chat, Three Dirty, Ray Ellison, Diva, Millie Mills, Tonio, Raymond, who else? Smart Ride. Y'all come on back. Week after next, come on back. Definitely week after next, come on back and we'll do this thing again. And hopefully, let me see, week after next, that will be, let me see, next Wednesday will be the 8th, not, well, 7th. That might be draft. Excuse me, that might be
Free agency time by the time you come back around, because
yeah, free
next
agency
Wednesday
time.
you said you're gonna be gone next week, so that's the 7th.
And free agency start on the 13th.
Yeah. So by the
Yeah,
time you wrap around, it'll be free agency.
it'll be free agency, and we'll have some real news about some real stuff. Hopefully.
Mhm.
So, guys, you all be easy, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. And the old man is gone.
All right. See
Bye
y'all
bye.
later.
All right.